I'm Michael Burke, and this is Money Talks. Hi, we're here today with Launchbox manager Kristin Niemiec at the Launchbox space, 141 Main Street in the State and Main building. A space that opened about 14 months ago in October 2013. So you were explaining to me that what Launchbox is has really changed from kind of a concept, and somebody would go to you and you'd pass them off to the right organization.
Right.
And now, what is it?
Little change. So Launchbox Co-working has remained the same, and that's what it primarily is. So it's shared office space. Folks that don't work for the same organization use the space, get out of their home office, get out of the local coffee shop, work here, have an opportunity to access resources and network with other entrepreneurs and small business owners. And that's available to them 24/7. The change is now I'm no longer just the referral source. Now through Gateway Technical College, I am able to offer a tool called Growth Wheel, so I'm able to do more of that counseling than I was before.
Yeah, and we can talk a little bit about Growth Wheel if you like as we go along here. And we should say that the Launchbox, the whole entity and name is now owned by Gateway, and that the two major funding sources by far are Gateway and the City of Racine. How much does it cost to become a member of Launchbox? It's pretty pricey, isn't it?
Oh, absolutely. It's free. The only thing that we charge is a one-time key fob deposit. Should you $25?
Yeah.
Yes, it's still $25. If you decide the space doesn't work for you, or we've had members that have moved out of state, and you return the key fob to me, we refund that $25. Otherwise, there's no fee.
What are some of the places or spaces that this was modeled after?
Well, co-working space exists all over the world. We were specifically modeled after a space that used to be in the Grand Avenue Mall in Milwaukee. It was called Open Mic, and it was part of the Greater Milwaukee Committee, or under their umbrella, and we were modeled after them. So.
In what ways? Like you said, they're doing what, and then we want to do that here?
Well, they were free. And we used a similar template for our membership agreement. We wanted it to be easy, and we didn't want it full of legalese. We wanted people to be able to read it a few pages, get the basic rules, and we used them just really as a sounding board for best practices. What did they do that maybe they would have done differently? Those types of things.
Yeah, I think I want to point out here that the idea back in 2011 when the city announced this was just to kind of turn up the flames under entrepreneurship, ultimately hoping to boost employment. I don't know if we've gotten to that point or not. You can address that if you like. Let's talk about this space itself. It's about 2,700 square feet.
Yes.
It's good size. And why don't you name some of the things that it offers?
Oh, well, where we're sitting now is really the open area. First come, first serve. People bring laptop, cell phone, and work and access the Wi-Fi system that we have. We also have a conference room that seats 10 to 12 with the TV in there for presentations. Should they have a client meeting, or if they're brainstorming with staff, they can use
And a big whiteboard along one wall.
Yes, we have whiteboards in this open area as well. But they can reserve that as often as they need through an online system once they become members. We also have a small kitchen area, coffee, microwave, those types of things, and some basic printer capabilities.
And basically just desks and chairs and filing cabinets, and it's carpeted and it's pretty quiet most of the time.
Most of the time it's pretty quiet. It gets a little noisy here now and then.
Yeah, so you opened it in October of 2013, and I know that there was a goal set out, I believe by the city, a membership goal. What was that, and when did you reach that goal?
The goal for year one was 50 members, and we hit
50. Yeah.
And we hit that goal in first quarter of 2014. So,
that was your goal for the end of this calendar year of 2014?
Yes.
And you hit it in the first quarter?
Yes.
So what was the there were just people waiting for something like this right out of the gate?
Yes, it's from this time, I think you did an article that we were in the process of constructing the space. I had people contacting me then, and they kept in contact throughout the construction process despite some minor delays in that. And they were ready to start using the space that first week. So by the time we got the key fob system operating, which was a couple days after the grand opening, we had people in here right away. So that first full week we were open, people were using the space.
And what's your current membership number, do you know?
128 members.
128, so you're way, way, way past the 50.
Yes.
Were there weren't any other hard and fast goals for this, were there?
Not for the co-working space. I have goals that I meet for the city, technical assistance and events. Events was another one. So we do host events here and at the SC Johnson IMET Center, depending on number of people attending, given our limited conference room space. But I was required to hit one a month. So we exceeded that. As a matter of fact, I'm just taking a quick glance here. We did 18.
Okay. Now, I know that this wasn't a set goal, but you, when I did a story recently, I asked you what sort of usage you're getting, and you said that you can track that because the number of swipes of the electronic key at the door. So what has been the average usage?
So the average 7 days a week, 4.3 unique visitors every day. And that doesn't include staff.
And again, that's averaged over the 7 days, not over a 5-day work week.
Correct.
And I'm guessing, of course, some of those key swipes could have been 5 people coming in to use the conference room too.
Yes,
So
it could be.
Yeah.
It could be.
Yeah. And when does this get used? When do people tend to show up here?
There really hasn't been a good pattern to it, at least not one that I can pinpoint. I have people here that won't come in until I can see them fob in at 6 in the evening.
Presumably after their daytime job.
Yes, and then they reserve the conference room. I've had them reserving the conference room as late as midnight.
Really?
I don't get too many that come in, say midnight to 6 a.m.
Yeah.
But 7 days a week.
What about weekends?
Yes. I have some members that's the only time they're here, so I very rarely see them.
Right. And let's delve into that a little bit, the kinds of uses and the kinds of users. You sort of alluded to it in passing, but what kinds of people are using this and for what?
Oh, all over the place. So I have folks that are just they have the idea and they're doing some market research, or they're kind of working on that revenue model. How would they make money at their idea? And they just need to get some quiet space, and they'll come here. Up to people that have been in business a few years and they were operating out of their home. They're now hiring employees. They want to do interviews, but they don't want them coming to their home, and it's too much of a confidential thing to do in a public space at the local restaurant or coffee shop. So they come here and they use the conference room. We've had sales trainings held here, up to board development. We've got folks that use it for that, just to get off site.
Yeah, you mentioned that there's some well-established companies that will come and use your boardroom for that sort of thing. You also offer TED Talks here?
And first Friday of every month at noon, typically led by a different member every month. They select a video, we watch, and then we talk about it. It's just kind of a way to get the conversation going and get members to meet one another and network a little bit, rather than just trying to force that conversation.
Yeah, I wish I could remember the acronym. TED actually stands for something, but it's a wide range of pretty fascinating talks. Now, you also have something coming up next year that I know you wanted to talk about, the Growth Accelerator Boot Camp. Why don't you explain where that started and what it will be? Right.
So one of the things that Gateway was thinking about before I came on board, and I was thinking about at Racine County Economic Development, was starting a seed accelerator.
Sorry, what?
A seed accelerator. In other words, some seed capital involved with the program. Simply because that small dollar amount initial startup money is tough to come by, particularly in this area. So we were funded by the U.S. Small Business Administration earlier this year.
$50,000?
$50,000 to start the program. It's a 12-week team-based, mentor-driven program that's designed to get someone that's in pre-revenue, so they're not generating sales yet, but have a pretty good idea kind of roughed out,
Mm-hmm.
to get them through testing their revenue model, doing customer contacts, over the course of those 12 weeks, to get to revenue or prototype within that time frame. And then if they meet their goals and we see progress through those 12 weeks, they would be eligible for a $10,000 seed grant.
How many people will this be for? And if I'm one of them, what do I actually get out? How do I have to prove my way into that? And what will I actually get, week, day to day, or week to week? How will it, why don't you break it down just a little further?
Sure. So we're taking 5 teams.
Okay.
So it's an application process. In terms of what we're looking for preferably teams, 3 to 4. It's going to be a lot of work, and so one entrepreneur, sole founder, may have difficulty getting all the work done.
Mm-hmm.
And we're looking for people with ideas that are scalable, can rapidly or grow quickly,
Okay.
and bring in revenue from outside the community.
Mm-hmm.
And we're also looking for someone.
Not just stir it around locally, huh?
Correct, not just take another piece of the pie.
Yeah.
And we're looking for founders and entrepreneurs that are passionate and coachable.
Mm. And will it be an hour a day, or how does it work?
So for the 12 weeks, the cohort, which would be all 5 teams, and our team, our consultants that are working with us on this project, and mentors, will meet once a week here for 3 to 4 hours.
Mm-hmm.
The rest of the week, the teams will work independent on the goals that they've set for that week. In terms of like a weekly curriculum, there isn't a set curriculum because it'll depend on the teams that are selected, what industries they're in, where they are in the process. So that gets set kind of as we go.
So if one time it's going to be marketing as the topic,
Mm-hmm.
you can make that relevant to these teams, even though they're all doing something different.
Right.
Mm-hmm.
Mm-hmm.
And would that be an example?
Yes, that'd be a good example. So if they're all struggling with marketing, we could bring in a subject matter expert on marketing. We could bring in mentors to specifically help them with marketing. And we could wrap one of those cohort meetings around that particular subject.
So the topics will actually come from what they want or
Yes.
need? Oh, interesting model.
Yes.
If somebody might be interested in that, what would they do?
Well, they can call me, 262-898-7404, or Gateway's website, so gtc.edu/accelerator.
Okay.
The application is on there. There's a little bit more information on it.
And where's the seed money come in?
The seed money, we've applied to Wisconsin Economic Development Corporation for the seed funding.
But who will get it? Every one of them, or the top group, or what?
Each one is eligible for $10,000,
Okay.
assuming that they successfully meet their goals throughout the. It's not a pass go and you get 10 grand. It's you've got to work towards it over the 12 weeks and meet your goals and push yourself and come and test those assumptions that you've made, and at the end.
And so you can accommodate five
We
teams?
can accommodate 5.
Okay. Will that ever be repeated?
It's an expensive program to run, given
Yeah.
50,000 in grants. We hope to. We were in Washington, D.C. in November with the SBA, or the U.S. Small Business Administration, and we did get a good sense that there's an opportunity for another round of funding through them. We'll see. We're waiting to see what the metrics are from this first cohort to build some good talking points and support for the program, and then we'll, assuming funding is available.
And just before we sign off here, back to just the general usage of this place, tell somebody how they can just become a member and start using this space.
Well, again, it's just giving me a call. I don't work out of this office every day,
Mm-hmm.
and the door is locked all the time.
Right.
So it's best, give me a call, shoot me an email. I'll meet them here, tour, and then it's just
I
really.
thought there was an online application where you.
Well, you can download it online, but you can't fill it out online.
I
So you
see.
have to download it,
Oh.
but I have them here, so they don't need to print it. And
Okay.
meet with me here and tour, passwords, those types.
And we'll try to put that on the screen for people the place to go to become a Launchbox
Sure.
member. So Kristin Niemiec, Launchbox Manager, thanks a lot for being on Money Talks.
Thank you.
And thanks for watching.